Previously, we talked about variables and how we can store a value inside of a variable and reference it again later. In this video, I'd like to discuss arrays, which are similar to variables, and how to declare and use them. So let's say we had a list of months. We could use variables and type string month1 equals January. Go to the next line and string month2 equals February. String month3 equals March. Now, if we wanted to output March, we would reference the variable month3. Hopefully, you can already see how redundant this would be. Imagine if you were storing every month in a year this way. We can improve on this by using an array instead of multiple variables. Imagine an array as a collection of variables. We could store each of these months in one array and use a number to reference the exact string we want. Let me show you what I mean. First, we need to declare the array, which we do the same way as with a variable, except we need to put these brackets after the data type. These two brackets tell C# that this is going to be an array. We'll call this array months and set it to equal new string, followed by the two brackets. Inside of these two brackets, we need to specify how many variables will be a part of this array. In this case, we'll put each of these month variables into the months array, so we need 3 spots. That's all there is to declaring an array, but now let's look at how to assign values to it. If you recall, in an earlier video, we discussed using variables with placeholders. With placeholders, we started counting from 0 instead of 1. Arrays work in the same way. The first value will be stored in the 0 spot, the second value in the 1 spot, and so on. We start counting up from 0 instead of 1. So, to assign the first value to the array, we type months, then these two brackets with a 0 inside them, then set that to equal January. This is just like assigning a value to a variable, except we need to specify which index this value will be stored under, as there are 3 indexes in this array. Let's assign the other two values as well. Months1 equals February. And months2 equals March. Let's comment out the 3 variables we started out with. Now, all 3 months are stored in the months array, and they can be referenced just like a variable. If we wanted to output January, we use the name of the array, followed by the index that we want. In this case, that's index 0. If we run the app, it outputs January. Change the 0 to a 1 in the WriteLine method, and it outputs February. An array can have as many indexes as you want, and it can contain whatever data type you want, but it can only have one data type. In some programming languages, a single array can contain different data types, but in C#, an array must only have one specific data type, in this case, string. There is a way you can specify the values of the variable in one line when you declare it as well. Let's comment out where we assign the values to the months array. And here, we'll delete the 3 in the brackets. After the brackets, put 2 curly braces. Inside of these braces, we can specify our values, separated by commas. I'll put January, February, and March. If we run the app, it works the same way it did before. If you only have a few values, this is a good way to do it, but it's also useful to know how to assign values to each position like we did before.